Hey loves, welcome back to the channel. So excited you're here. Today we're diving deep into something super personal, how they're feeling about this recent distance between you. Yeah, the vibe is all about understanding and maybe even a little bit of healing. So how this works, we've got 4 piles, each with a unique crystal. Trust your intuition, okay? Which one just calls to you? Don't overthink it. If one grabs your attention, that's probably the one you need. And hey, no pressure, it's totally okay if you're drawn to more than one. Sometimes messages come in layers, you know? Okay, let's peek at these beauties. First up, we have this rhodonite cluster. Its theme is unspoken understanding, all about navigating the quiet spaces in your connection. Then there's the malachite angel, shining light on revealed truths and hidden emotions. Ooh, intense. Next, we've got the jasper sun, radiating resilient hope and inner strength. Love that. And finally, this raw moonstone crystal, which is all about inner reflection and transformative insights, digging deep within themselves. Seriously, take a breath, look at each crystal and feel which one resonates with your soul. Trust that little nudge, okay? Close your eyes for a sec, make a wish for clarity and understanding in your connection, and then choose. Remember, this reading is timeless, so whenever you're watching this, the message is meant for you right now. Take what resonates and leave the rest. I'll see you in your chosen reading. Okay, so the rhodonite cluster is all about flowing energy, right? And that fits perfectly because the theme here is unspoken understanding, like navigating the quiet ebbs and flows in a connection. Even when things are unsaid, there's still a current moving between you. So with that in mind, let's dive into these cards. Oh my gosh, okay. So the first card we have here is the 10 of Swords, and whoa. This card is heavy, I'm not gonna lie. It's all about endings, right? Like something definitely came to a head. This person, the way they're feeling, it's like they perceive this distance as a really painful ending. Maybe they feel like they messed up, or maybe they feel like the distance itself is the final nail in the coffin, you know? It's dramatic, it's intense, and there's a real sense of defeat here. But don't freak out just yet. Because remember that rhodonite energy is about flow, and endings, even painful ones, can lead to new beginnings. It's like they're really in their head about this, though, catastrophizing for sure. They're probably replaying everything that led to this distance, and not in a fun way. But okay, then we have the 4 of Wands, which is like a complete 180, right? This is all about celebration, stability, home, and harmony. So even though they're feeling the sting of the 10 of Swords, deep down, this is what they want. They want that solid foundation, that feeling of we're in this together, that sense of belonging with you. It's like they're mourning the loss of that stability, or maybe they're realizing how much they valued it now that there's distance. Perhaps they're even picturing what it could be like again. You know, that happy, comfortable space you shared or could share. It's like a yearning for that security, that feeling of coming home. And then, to top it all off, we have the Fool. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. So after all that drama and the yearning for stability, the Fool is like a wild card. It's all about new beginnings, taking a leap of faith, and just jumping into the unknown. So this person, despite feeling like everything's ended, also has this spark of hope. Maybe, just maybe, there's a chance for a fresh start. They might be thinking about reaching out or doing something totally unexpected to bridge that distance. But the Fool is also a little naive, right? They might not be thinking things through completely. It's like they have this urge to just throw caution to the wind and see what happens, even if it's a little crazy. Okay, so after all that emotional roller coaster, we have the 4 of Swords. Whoa, okay. So this is a total contrast to the Fool, right? This is all about rest, contemplation, needing to just chill out and recharge. So after the 10 of Swords ending, the yearning of the 4 of Wands, and the impulsive energy of the Fool, this person is mentally and emotionally exhausted. They're probably feeling completely drained, like they need to retreat from everything and just breathe. It's like their mind is racing with all these different scenarios and possibilities, and they just can't handle it anymore. They need a break from the drama, from the yearning, and from the urge to, do something crazy. This card is telling them to step back, to disconnect from the outside world, and to just focus on their own inner peace. Maybe they're even feeling a bit paralyzed by all these conflicting emotions, right? They want that stability of the Four of Wands, but they're also drawn to the excitement of the Fool, and they're still dealing with the pain of the Ten of Swords. It's a lot to process. So the Four of Swords is saying, hey, it's okay to not have all the answers right now. It's okay to just take a break and let things settle. They might be resisting this rest, though, they might feel like they need to do something to fix things, or to win you back, or to move on. But the card is really clear, the best thing they can do right now is nothing. Just rest, reflect, and allow themselves to heal. It's like trying to force things right now will just lead to more exhaustion and confusion. They need to give themselves time to recharge their batteries before they can make any clear decisions. Remember that rhodonite energy, all about flowing? Well, right now, the flow needs to be inwards. They need to allow the energy to flow back into themselves, to replenish their reserves. This isn't about blocking the flow, it's about redirecting it. It's about taking a pause so they can come back stronger and clearer. So, what happens after this period of rest and contemplation? Does the Fool's energy return, pushing them to take that leap of faith? Or do they choose a more grounded path, building towards the stability of the Four of Wands? I'm so curious to see what the next card reveals. Okay, so, after all that rest, after the Four of Swords, we have the Page of Cups. Oh my gosh. Okay, so, does the Fool's energy return? Or do they choose a more grounded path? Well, the Page of Cups is kind of both, right? It's a new beginning, like the Fool, but it's also about emotions and feelings, maybe a more stable approach. So this person is, coming out of that period of rest with an offering. Maybe they're thinking about reaching out, but not in a crazy, fool-like way, but more like a gentle, hey, I'm thinking of you, kind of vibe, It's like the Page of Cups is so innocent and sweet, right? So maybe, after all that emotional turmoil, they're feeling a little bit vulnerable, a little bit exposed. Maybe they want to express their feelings, but they're also scared, Because of the Ten of Swords energy still lingering. It's like they don't want to get hurt again. But the Cups is also about intuition, right? So maybe they're listening to their heart a little bit more now. Or another possibility, maybe the Page of Cups is representing a new perspective on their feelings. Maybe during that rest, they realize something important about themselves, or about you, or about the relationship. And now they're ready to, communicate that in a really gentle, heartfelt way. It's like they're not coming in with demands or expectations, just here's how I feel, and I wanted to share it with you. But let's not forget the shadow side of the Page of Cups, right? It can be a little bit naive, a little bit immature, a little bit too dreamy. So maybe, just maybe, this person is, idealizing the situation, Maybe they're not seeing things clearly, and they're, projecting all these fantasies onto you and the relationship. It's they're not really dealing with the reality of the situation, they're just, lost in their own little world of, what could be. It's a warning to, keep it real, Don't get too carried away with the emotions, because the distance is still there, right? But I think, overall, the Page of Cups is a positive sign. It's after all that inner turmoil, they're finally ready to, open up and express their feelings. Whether it's a mature, heartfelt offering or a more naive, dreamy expression, it's still a step forward. And remember that rhodonite energy is all about flow, right? So, this is the beginning of a new emotional flow between you two, even if it's just a trickle. It really is all about that unspoken understanding, right? The Page of Cups is almost shy, almost awkward. What will they do with these feelings? Will they act on them? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see what the next card brings, because, is this just a fleeting emotion? Or is it something more solid that they will build on? The Page of Cups is almost shy, almost awkward. What will they do with these feelings? Will they act on them? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see what the next card brings, because, is this just a fleeting emotion? Or is it something more solid that they will build on? Okay, so the card we have is the Chariot. Whoa, okay, so after all that vulnerability and gentleness, we have this burst of raw willpower. This person is ready to take charge, right? It's like that Page of Cups energy was just the beginning, and now they're okay, I feel this and I'm going to do something about it. So maybe that rest and contemplation gave them the clarity and the confidence to actually pursue what they want, you know? It's they're not just gonna sit around and dream about it anymore. They're gonna put on their armor and charge forward. But okay, the Chariot is also about control, right? So maybe they're trying to control their emotions or control the situation, or even control you, you know? After being so vulnerable with the Page of Cups, maybe they're feeling a little bit exposed, a little bit too open, and they're okay, I need to take the reins and steer this thing in the direction I want it to go. It's they're afraid of losing control, so they're overcompensating, you know? It's they don't want to be at the mercy of their feelings, so they're trying to force things to happen. But the Chariot can also be a little bit stubborn, right? It's about pushing forward, no matter what, even if it means running over obstacles or ignoring other people's feelings, you know? So maybe they're so focused on getting what they want that they're not really considering your perspective or the bigger picture. It's they're just tunnel vision, you know? I want this and I'm gonna get it no matter what. Okay, but another possibility, maybe the Chariot is about overcoming internal obstacles, right? Maybe they're battling their own doubts and fears, and the Chariot is their determination to push through all that and finally achieve their goals. It's they're saying, okay, I'm scared, but I'm not gonna let that stop me. I'm gonna face my fears and move forward even if it's hard. Remember that Ten of Swords energy from before? Maybe they are ready to move beyond that defeated feeling, choosing action. It's this person is at a crossroads. They can either let their emotions control them, or they can take control of their emotions and steer them in the right direction, you know? But which path will they choose? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see what the final card reveals, because will they succeed in their quest? Or will they crash and burn? But which path will they choose? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see what the final card reveals, because will they succeed in their quest? Or will they crash and burn? Okay, so we have the Three of Cups. Oh my goodness, okay, so after all that intense, driven energy of the Chariot, we have this card of connection, celebration, and friendship. It's this person is realizing that they don't have to do it all alone, you know? It's they're understanding that having support and connection is actually a strength, not a weakness. Maybe after that Page of Cups vulnerability and that Chariot drive, they're now seeking out their friends, their support system to celebrate their feelings and share their experiences. It's they're coming to the realization that it's okay to lean on other people, you know? It's not all about I have to do this all by myself, I have to be strong and independent. Okay, but the Three of Cups is also about community, right? So maybe this person is recognizing the importance of connection in general. Not just with you, but with everyone in their life. It's they're realizing that having a strong network of friends and loved ones is essential for their well-being, you know. And that maybe the distance has made them appreciate those connections even more, you know. Maybe they're putting more energy into their friendships, scheduling a game night or a brunch with their friends. But also, okay, the Three of Cups can be a little bit superficial, right? It can be all about partying and having fun without really delving into the deeper emotions. So maybe this person is using these celebrations and connections as a way to avoid dealing with the real issues, you know. Maybe they're distracting themselves from the pain of the Ten of Swords or the vulnerability of the Page of Cups by just surrounding themselves with people and having a good time. It's they're not really facing their feelings head on, they're just trying to bury them under a pile of fun and laughter, you know. It's like they're finding solace, or at least a temporary distraction, in the company of others. Or, maybe they are also connecting with others to better understand and process what has been going on. Like, maybe they're getting advice from their friends, or sharing their feelings, opening themselves up more. They are flowing. That rhodonite energy, though, is really coming through here, because it's about allowing the flow of connection and communication and understanding. But I am so interested to see what happens next, though. Okay, so, we've seen this whole journey, right? From that initial painful ending to, the need for rest, to the vulnerability, to the urge to, take control, to now, connecting with others. It's been a lot. And now, finally, we have the Two of Wands. Oh my gosh. So, this card is all about making choices, right? Deciding which path to take, and, owning your power. It's like this person has, all these options in front of them, and they're, finally ready to, choose the direction they want to go. They've done the work, They've processed their feelings, they've connected with their support system, and now they're ready to, step into their power and, create their own destiny. But also the Two of Wands can be a little bit daunting, right? It can be scary to have so much choice because, what if you choose the wrong path? What if you make the wrong decision? So maybe this person is feeling a little bit overwhelmed by all the possibilities. They're not sure which way to go, and they're afraid of, messing things up or, regretting their choice later on. But I think overall, the Two of Wands is a really positive sign, It's it's saying, hey, you've got this. You have the power to create the life you want, and you're ready to take that leap of faith. Remember that rhodonite energy flowing? It's you have the power to direct that flow, to choose where it goes, what it nourishes. So, what does this mean for your situation? Well, it depends on what you want, right? Do you want to, rekindle that connection? Or do you want to, move on and create something new? The choice is yours. And whatever you decide, know that you have the strength and the power to make it happen. You are amazing. But also, don't forget to, listen to your intuition, The Page of Cups was all about emotions and feelings. So, trust your gut, trust your heart, and, let that guide you. And also, don't be afraid to, ask for help, The Three of Cups was all about connection, so, lean on your friends, lean on your support system, and, let them help you make the right decision. I hope this reading resonated with you, and I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Hey there, friend, let's dive into this reading. With the Malachite Angel here, it's all about illumination, shining a light on what's really going on. And given our theme of revealed truths, we're about to uncover some hidden emotions tied to their reaction to your recent distance. So exciting. Okay, first up, we have the Chariot. So on the surface, this card is all about willpower, control, ambition, right? But what does this mean in terms of their feelings about you creating distance? I'm sensing this person is probably super driven, maybe even a little bit of a control freak, and the distance you've created. It's like throwing a wrench in their plans. They might be feeling really frustrated, like their forward momentum is being blocked. Maybe they're used to getting their way, and your distance is a challenge to that. It could also mean they're actively fighting against the distance, trying to bridge that gap with all their might. It's like they see you as a goal, and they're determined to conquer it, even if it means charging headfirst into a difficult situation, Think of someone stubbornly pursuing something they want, regardless of obstacles. That's the vibe I'm getting. So, yeah, a bit of frustration, a lot of determination, but definitely a clash of wills happening here. Next, we've got the World card. Now, this is interesting. The World often represents completion, fulfillment, like reaching the end of a cycle. But how does that play into their feelings? Well, maybe they feel like things have come full circle. Without you. Ouch, right? Like they're seeing this as an ending, a final chapter where you're no longer a main character. There could be a sense of resignation here, a feeling that, okay, it's over. Or, and this is a little harsher, maybe there's even some resentment. Like they feel you've brought things to an end prematurely, that you've closed the door on something that could have been amazing. They might be stuck in the past, replaying old memories, wondering where things went wrong, you know. It is that feeling of closure, but it might not be a happy closure. It's like the period at the end of a sentence, but they didn't want the story to end. But wait, there's more, because we also have the Fool. Ah, the Fool, beginnings, leaps of faith, new adventures. So how does this card mix with everything else? Okay, this could mean they are contemplating a fresh start, maybe even because of the distance, ironically. This could go one of two ways. Either they're thinking about completely moving on, embracing a new path away from you, like saying, okay, this is my chance to be free. Or, and this is the more exciting possibility, they are considering a bold move towards you, like a grand gesture to bridge the distance and start over. It's like they are weighing their options, ready to jump into the unknown, but unsure which direction to leap. Maybe they're even considering showing up at your door. The Fool is impulsive, so honestly, anything is possible here. So overall, what's the vibe? This person is definitely going through it. A whirlwind of ambition, possible resentment, and the urge for a fresh start. Remember, the Malachite Angel is all about illuminating those hidden truths, right? This is just the surface. There's definitely more to uncover here. Okay, friend, so we've got the Knight of Wands now, right after the Fool. This is like gasoline on a fire, almost literally. The Fool was already hinting at a bold move, maybe even a reckless one, and the Knight of Wands is just pure, unadulterated, impetuous energy. Remember how the Fool could mean they were thinking of showing up at your door. Well, the Knight of Wands is practically kicking the door down. This card screams passion, impulsivity, and a need for action, like right now. So all that frustration from the Chariot, the possible resentment from the world, it's all fueling this Knight's fire. They're not just thinking about doing something. They're probably already doing it, or about to, without thinking it through, you know. It could mean they're going to reach out in some grand, dramatic way, a late-night text, a surprise visit, maybe even something a little over the top, like declaring their undying love on social media. Yikes. This is all about following their gut, which, let's be honest, might not be the best idea in this situation. But here's another way to look at it. Remember how the World card had that vibe of resentment, like they felt things were ending because of you? Well, the Knight of Wands could also be them channeling that resentment into anger, maybe even spite. They might try to provoke a reaction from you, start an argument just to get your attention, or even try to make you jealous. It is giving major drama queen energy. They're feeling this intense need to do something, anything, to break through the distance, but they're not exactly thinking about the consequences. So, are they riding in to rescue the relationship, or are they riding in to burn it all down? Honestly, it could go either way with this card, and it probably depends on how they're processing those feelings from the Chariot and the World. The good news is that the Malachite Angel is all about illuminating hidden truths, right? So, even if they do something impulsive, it's going to reveal something important about how they really feel. This Knight of Wands is going to bring something to light, whether it's their burning passion or their simmering anger, but which one will it be? Wow, I am dying to pull the next card. What do you think it's gonna be? Okay, so after all that Knight of Wands drama, we pull the Star. Are you serious? This is like night and day, right? Remember how our Malachite Angel is all about, like, illuminating hidden truths? Well, after all that chaotic energy, the Star is like a beam of hope cutting through the darkness. I mean, seriously, after the Knight of Wands, I was expecting more fireworks, but this is something totally different. So the Star is all about hope, healing, faith, renewed sense of purpose, you know. It's like, after all that impulsivity and possible regret from the previous cards, they're now searching for some kind of, like, guiding light. Maybe, just maybe, they're starting to see the bigger picture, realizing that grand gestures aren't always the answer. But here's where it gets interesting. Could it be they're idealizing you? Like, are they seeing you as this, like, perfect, unattainable figure that represents everything they're missing in their life? Because the Star can also be about, like, unrealistic expectations, you know. Like they might be putting you on this pedestal, seeing you as their quote, unquote, savior, which is like a lot of pressure, right? Maybe the distance you've created has actually made them see you in a new light, but is it an accurate light? Are they seeing you for who you really are, or are they projecting all their hopes and dreams onto you? It's like they're looking up at the night sky and seeing this bright, shining star, but are they close enough to really understand what that star is made of, you know? This could also mean they're clinging to the hope that things can go back to the way they were, maybe even better. But that might not be realistic. Remember the World card. That feeling of completion, maybe they are thinking a different ending is still possible, and you are the key to unlocking it. But think about this. If they're idealizing you, that also means they might be setting themselves up for disappointment. If you don't live up to their expectations, or if you don't reciprocate their feelings in the way they're hoping for, it could lead to even more resentment, and we don't want that. So the star is beautiful, but it's also a little bit dangerous, you know? It's like a fragile hope that needs to be handled with care. So with this distance, they're either finding hope and inspiration, or setting themselves up for a major letdown, and honestly, it probably depends on how grounded they are, and whether or not they're willing to see you as a real person, flaws and all. Wow, okay, this is getting deep. What do you think the next card will be like? Are we going to get some, like, grounding energy? Okay, so after all that star card vulnerability, we get the Six of Wands, right? Public recognition, victory. Like a total shift again, are you serious? So the Six of Wands is usually like, you know, triumph, like you've overcome something and people are like celebrating you for it. But after the star, I'm wondering, is this genuine or is it like a performance? You know what I mean? Like, are they actually being recognized for something real? Or are they trying to, like, create this image of success to, like, mask all that vulnerability and hope from the star? It's like, maybe they're trying to prove to themselves, and to you, that they're doing great, that they don't need you, you know? It's like a look at me, I'm thriving without you kind of vibe. And how does this play with that Knight of Wands energy? Is that impulsive energy now being, like, validated by external praise? Or is it being deflated, like they made this grand gesture, and now they're just trying to, like, play it cool and act like it was no big deal because they're so successful anyway? You know, it really depends on their intention, right? But think about this. Maybe this recognition isn't even about you. Maybe they're genuinely succeeding in some other area of their life, and that's what they're being celebrated for. But because of the distance between you two, it's creating this weird power dynamic, like they're on this pedestal and you're just watching from afar, you know. Or maybe, and this is a little darker, maybe they're using this public recognition to try and manipulate you. Like, they're showing off their success to try and make you jealous or to make you regret creating the distance. It's like a subtle way of saying, hey, look what you're missing out on. Remember our Malachite angel and the revealed truths. Maybe this Six of Wands is illuminating the fact that this person is, like, really good at putting on a show, at projecting this image of success, even when they're secretly feeling lost or insecure, you know. It's like the truth is that they're craving validation, but they're not being honest about it, not even with themselves. So, are they genuinely winning, or are they just pretending to win? And how is this affecting their feelings about the distance? Are they trying to bridge the gap, or are they just trying to prove a point? It's so hard to tell, isn't it? I wonder what the next card is going to reveal. Is it gonna give us a clearer direction? Okay, friend, so after all that Six of Wands showmanship, we get the Four of Pentacles. I mean, are you seeing this? This is, like, the opposite extreme almost, right? So where the Six of Wands was all about, like, external validation, the Four of Pentacles is all about, like, internal security, or at least the attempt at it. You know, this card is all about holding on tight, about being a little bit, like, possessive, whether it's with your money, your emotions, or even your relationships. And with our Malachite angel here, it really makes me wonder. So, how does that play into their feelings about the distance? Well, maybe, just maybe, all that public success they were showing off with the Six of Wands was just a smokescreen, you know. Like maybe underneath it all, they're actually feeling really insecure, And the distance you've created is, like, triggering their fear of loss. Maybe they're afraid of losing you, but maybe they're also afraid of losing something else, like their status, their image, or even just their sense of control, you know. It's like they're clinging to what they have because they're terrified of what they might lose. Or here's another way to look at it. After that vulnerability with the star, could be that they're now, like, building up walls again, trying to protect themselves from getting hurt, you know. Like they showed you a little bit of their true self, and maybe it felt too risky, so now they're retreating back into their shell, holding on to their emotions, not letting anyone get too close. Are you tracking with me? But wait, it gets even more interesting, because the Four of Pentacles can also be about being a little bit, like, stubborn, right? Like maybe they're refusing to let go of their anger or resentment, you know, from the world. They're clinging to those negative feelings because it gives them a sense of power. It's like they're saying, I'm not going to forgive you. I'm not going to let you off the hook. And that's their way of, like, maintaining control, you know. It's almost like they're punishing you and themselves by holding on to those feelings. But what if, and this is just a thought, what if they're holding on to something else entirely? Like, what if they're secretly still holding on to hope despite everything? Like they're not letting go of the possibility that you two could still work things out. And that's why they're being so guarded, because they don't want to do anything that might jeopardize that chance, you know. This card, it's really making me wonder, what are they really trying to protect? Is it their heart, their ego, or something else entirely? And how is that affecting their ability to deal with the distance between you two? I am so curious about what the next card will bring to the table. Okay, deep breath, friend, because here comes the Knight of Swords, right after all that Four of Pentacles energy. So what does this knight bring to the table? Honesty, directness, maybe even a little bit of bluntness. Like, after all that holding on, all that protecting, this knight is like, nope, time to cut through the crap. Remember our Malachite angel. This knight is here to illuminate the truth, even if it's a little bit painful. So how does this play into their feelings about the distance? Well, maybe, just maybe, they're finally ready to be honest with themselves and with you about what's really going on. Like all that insecurity from the Four of Pentacles. They might be realizing that holding on so tight is actually pushing you further away, you know? And all that Six of Wands showmanship. They might be admitting that it was just a facade, a way to hide their true feelings. This night is about clarity, about speaking your mind, even if it's not what the other person wants to hear. But think about it this way. Maybe they're finally ready to tell you how much they miss you, or maybe they're ready to admit that they messed up. Maybe they want to apologize for their actions and, like, actually mean it. Or, and this is the tougher option, maybe they're realizing that this isn't working, that the distance is too much, and they're ready to, like, end things for real. This night doesn't mince words, you know, so be prepared for some honesty, whether you like it or not. But remember that energy from the star, the hope, the healing. This night isn't about crushing those things, it's about clarifying them. Like maybe they're hopping for a reconciliation, but they're also being realistic about what that would take and what they're willing to do to make it happen, you know. This isn't about empty promises, it's about concrete action, about saying what you mean and meaning what you say. So, what does all of this mean for you, my friend? Well, first of all, prepare yourself for some real talk. Are you ready? This person is likely going to reach out, and they're not going to beat around the bush, so be ready to listen, really listen, to what they have to say. And second of all, trust your intuition, you know. After all this back and forth, all these conflicting emotions, only you can decide what's best for you, so listen to your heart, and don't be afraid to speak your truth, even if it's difficult, you know. The Malachite angel is guiding you, so trust that you're on the right path, no matter what happens. Okay, friend, you got this. Hey, Jasper Sun Pile, so illuminating is the word and resilient hope is the vibe we're going for. I just love that because with Jasper Sun, it's like things are coming to light, right? Okay, so pulling these cards like all together. Wow. Okay, first up is the Lovers. So like decisions, right? Choices. But also maybe, and this is important given the distance, it's about their values. What they value in a partnership, what they're really seeing as important. maybe because of this distance. It's illuminating what truly matters to them. You know, it's funny because with the distance, they might be at a crossroads about the relationship, or maybe about themselves in the relationship. But Jasper's sun is all about clarity, so it's not just confusion. It's like they're seeing the path forward, even if they haven't taken it yet. They're understanding what they need, what they want, what they're willing to fight for. There's something resilient about that, right? Then we have the sun. Okay, so pure joy, happiness, optimism. This is like their inner state. Even with this distance, they are choosing to be optimistic. They're not letting it completely darken their world. It's that resilient hope kicking in. They might miss you terribly, they might be sad about the space between you, but deep down, there's this sunny disposition that's keeping them going. It's like they know good times are ahead, or at least they believe it. And you know that's so powerful because it's not just blind faith. It's like a conscious choice to see the light, even when things are tough, you know? And then bam, the wheel of fortune. This is so exciting because it means things are changing. Like big time. And change can be scary, sure, but with the sun and the Jasper sun energy, it's pointing towards a positive shift eventually. This distance, it might not be forever. The wheel is turning, and things are going to come back around. Maybe it's them realizing they can't live without you. Maybe it's circumstances changing that bring you closer. Who knows? But this card is all about hope and resilience in the face of the unknown. The wheel always turns, and they are hopping at turns in their favor and in the relationship's favor. Okay, so with that, let's see what the next card reveals about this turning point. Okay, so the Three of Swords. Ouch. Yeah, this isn't the happy card we were hopping for, right? But remember that resilient hope thing we're talking about. So yeah, Three of Swords is heartbreak. Like pure and simple. This distance, it's probably really hurting them right now. Maybe they're feeling rejected or disappointed, maybe even betrayed, you know. It's like all that sunshine from the sun card is being blocked out for a minute by this dark cloud. They might be feeling like, oh my gosh, is this the end? Is this relationship just falling apart? And it's hitting them hard. It's not just a little sad, it's like a deep, aching pain in their heart, you know? But okay, here's where the resilience comes in. This card, it's also about truth, right? Maybe they're realizing some hard truths about the relationship or about themselves because of this distance. Like maybe they were ignoring some red flags before and now they're just like, bam, staring them right in the face. And yeah, it hurts, but it's also clarifying things. It's illuminating things just like the Jasper sun wants. This pain, it's not for nothing. It's forcing them to see things clearly, to understand what wasn't working, what needs to change. Maybe this distance and the pain it's causing is actually pushing them to grow, to become stronger, to become more clear about what they need in a relationship. It's like they had to feel this heartbreak in order to really, truly understand what they value and what they're willing to fight for. Remember the Lover's card. This pain, it might be solidifying their decision or helping them make a new decision, you know. Like, is this relationship worth fighting for, or is it time to move on? It's like the swords are cutting away the illusions, leaving them with the raw, honest truth, even though it stings. The wheel of fortune keeps turning, right? And sometimes it has to go through a dark patch before it can swing back up into the light. It's a painful part of the process, but necessary. Okay, Judgment. Wow. Okay, so after all that heartbreak, right? After the Three of Swords, they're probably feeling like, oh my God, what do I do now? Judgment is like it's the universe stepping in, you know? It's like a wake-up call. They're being asked to really look at the situation, at the relationship, at themselves, and to make a serious call. It's like, okay, everything's on the table. What are we doing here? This isn't just about feeling sad, it's about taking accountability. Maybe they were avoiding something, or maybe they weren't being honest with themselves. Judgment is forcing them to face the music. It's like all those little things they were ignoring. They're all coming back now, demanding to be dealt with. And remember the Lover's card. This is like that decision point coming back around, but with a whole new level of intensity. It's not just about choosing between two paths, it's about choosing who they want to be. Are they going to stay stuck in this cycle of pain, Or are they going to rise above it and create something new? This card is all about rebirth, right? It's like the phoenix rising from the ashes. They have the opportunity to completely transform themselves and their relationship, but they have to be willing to let go of the past. This connects back to the Wheel of Fortune because it's another turning point, right? The wheel keeps turning, and this time, it's bringing them face to face with their own choices, with their own karma. But with the Sun card's energy still lingering, it's not just about punishment. It's about redemption. It's about learning from their mistakes and creating a brighter future. This is that resilient hope kicking back in big time. They're seeing that even though things have been tough, even though they're hurting, they have the power to change things. They have the power to create a relationship that's based on truth, on honesty, on mutual respect. Or they might realize that it's time to move on, to release the past and embrace a new beginning. Either way, Judgment is about clarity. It's about understanding what needs to happen in order for them to move forward. So yeah, this is huge. And I'm really curious to see what the next card reveals about the actual outcome of this judgment. Okay, the Fool. Oh my gosh. After all of that, right? All that heartbreak and judgment and serious soul searching. The Fool is like, okay, I'm just gonna jump. You know, it's that energy of just pure faith. Maybe even a little bit of naivete, Like they've been through the ringer, they've faced their demons, and now they're just like, screw it, I'm starting over. It's that feeling of complete freedom. But it's also a little bit scary, right? Because the Fool, he doesn't know where he's going. He's just taking a leap of faith, hopping for the best, So with this distance, after all of this, they might be feeling this urge to just completely wipe the slate clean. To forget about all the pain, all the drama, and just start fresh, either with you or without you. This is interesting because, okay, remember the Sun card. That optimism. The Fool is like that optimism taken to the extreme. It's like they're so determined to be happy, to find joy, that they're willing to risk everything, But also remember the Three of Swords, the heartbreak. They might be trying to run away from that pain, Like maybe they don't want to deal with the hard stuff, so they're just like, okay, new beginning. Everything's gonna be great. Which, good for them for trying to stay positive, but it could also be a way of avoiding the real issues, And then, judgment. So they've had their wake-up call, right? They've seen the truth, but the Fool is like, what if they learn the wrong lesson? What if they think that the lesson is, okay, I just need to find something new, something exciting. Instead of actually working on themselves or working on the relationship, This card is all about potential, right? It's like anything is possible. They could create an amazing new life for themselves, full of joy and adventure. Or they could just be repeating the same mistakes, It really depends on how they're interpreting all of these lessons from the past. Are they really learning and growing, or are they just trying to escape? And think about the Wheel of Fortune, right? Things are changing. This could be them initiating a huge change. Like packing up and moving, or quitting their job, or, ending the relationship. It's a big risk, but it could also be incredibly rewarding. The illuminating Jasper sun is about to shine on a totally new path. This distance, this whole situation, might be the push they needed to finally do something they've always dreamed of. The Fool is like the ultimate act of faith. But is it faith in themselves, or is it just blind faith? It's exciting and scary all at the same time. So I wonder what this new beginning actually looks like. Okay, so the Six of Wands. So like victory, right? Success, public recognition. It's like they're being applauded, they're on top of the world. But okay, let's dig deeper, because with all that's been going on, it can't be that simple, right? So after the Fool, after that leap of faith, maybe this is them trying to show everyone, including you, that they made the right decision. Like, hey, look at me, I'm thriving, I'm so happy without you, Maybe they're posting a lot on social media, like, look at all the fun I'm having. But is it real? Or is it just a show? That's what I'm wondering. It's like they're trying to convince themselves that they're okay, even if they're not, right? And with that distance between you two. Maybe they are trying to prove that it doesn't affect them. Like, oh, we're apart, but it's fine. I'm doing great. But deep down, maybe they're really missing you. So it's like they're putting on this brave face, this facade of success, but underneath, there's still that pain from the Three of Swords, that heartbreak. It's like they're trying to cover it up with all this external validation, this applause from others. But what if it's real, though? What if they really are feeling good? Maybe this distance has actually given them the space to grow, to pursue their own goals, to achieve something they've always wanted. Remember that Judgment card. Maybe they really took that to heart, and they're making positive changes in their life. Maybe this success is genuine, and they're finally feeling confident and empowered. It's still illuminated by the Jasper sun, right? They may be really happy with their decisions. But okay, even if it is real, there's still a question of what it means for the relationship, right? Are they so happy on their own that they don't need you anymore? Or is this success going to bring them back to you, stronger and more confident than ever? Because, remember the Lover's card. That decision is still hanging in the air. The Six of Wands, it's not the end of the story. It's just another step on the journey. This success, it might change the game completely. Or it might just be a temporary high, a fleeting moment of glory before the wheel turns again. So, I'm really curious to see what the next card reveals about what this triumph actually means in the long run. Okay, so Two of Pentacles. Okay, so after all of that, after the Six of Wands and maybe feeling like they're on top of the world, this card is like, okay, hold on, don't get too carried away, you know? It's all about balance, juggling, trying to make everything work. So with this distance, with this new beginning, with this potential success they're having, they might be trying to balance a lot of different things. Like, maybe they're trying to balance their feelings for you with their new life. Maybe they're trying to balance work and play, or, you know, different relationships. It's like they've got a lot on their plate and they're trying to keep all the balls in the air, you know? And remember the Lover's card, that choice. It's still there, right? They might be weighing their options, trying to decide what they really want. Like, do I want to stay in this new, exciting place, or do I want to go back to what I had? And this card is also about adaptability, right? It's about being able to adjust to changing circumstances. So maybe they're learning how to navigate this distance, how to make the best of a tough situation. They're trying to find a rhythm, a flow that works for them. But it's not always easy, you know? Sometimes they might feel overwhelmed, like they're about to drop everything. But the Two of Pentacles is about perseverance, about not giving up. So even when things get tough, they're going to keep trying, keep juggling, keep searching for that balance. It's about staying flexible and open to new possibilities. And remember that resilient hope? It's still there, even if it's buried under a pile of responsibilities. This card is a reminder that they're capable of handling anything that comes their way, as long as they stay grounded and focused. So ultimately, this Two of Pentacles is like a call for them to stay present, to not get too caught up in the highs of the Six of Wands or the lows of the Three of Swords. It's about finding that middle ground, that place of equilibrium where they can feel balanced and at peace. And hey, remember that Jasper sun energy. It's all about illumination, right? It's about seeing things clearly. So even though things might feel chaotic right now, they're going to find their way. They're going to figure out what truly matters to them. And whatever they choose, whatever path they take, they're going to do it with clarity and with hope. You've got this. All right, so for everyone who picked the Moonstone Raw Crystal, this is going to be about how they feel about this recent distance, and Moonstone is all about awakening. This reading is themed around inner reflection, like uncovering transformative insights within themselves as they contemplate the impact of your separation. Okay, so let's dive right into these cards. First up, we have the Hanged Man, and like, whoa, this card is all about a pause, a surrender. They might be feeling like they're in a situation where they can't really do much, you know? Like they're suspended, waiting for something to happen. It's a time of reflection, seeing things from a totally different angle. Maybe this distance has forced them to reevaluate everything, to see the bigger picture, or maybe even to just surrender to the situation. The Hanged Man often represents a necessary sacrifice, not necessarily in a bad way, but more like letting go of control to gain a new perspective. So yeah, it's almost like they are being asked to just chill out, hang in there, and see what comes up. Then we have the Nine of Swords, and oh my goodness, this card is heavy. This is like anxiety central. So this suggests that while they're in this period of reflection, there's a lot of worry going on in their mind, probably keeping them up at night, you know. This distance is causing them some serious stress and maybe even some obsessive thoughts. They might be imagining worst-case scenarios and just like spiraling. It's important to remember that the Nine of Swords is often about perceived fears rather than actual reality. Like, the situation might not be as bad as they're making it out to be in their head, you know. Are they catastrophizing? Perhaps. And are we seeing their own fears projected into the silence created by your distance? Probably, but it's worth mentioning, okay? And finally, we have the Moon. Okay, so this card adds another layer of complexity, because the Moon is all about illusions, hidden emotions, and the subconscious. So this distance is bringing up some deep, buried feelings for them. There might be things they haven't been willing to acknowledge about themselves or the relationship, and now they're being forced to face them. It's like the truth is lurking beneath the surface, and it's a little scary. They may not even fully understand what they're feeling, and it could be causing them to feel disoriented and confused. This card often suggests a need to trust your intuition and pay attention to your dreams, because that's where the answers lie. The Moon can also represent deception, either from themselves or from someone else, so they may be deceiving themselves to create a false narrative, or someone is being dishonest around them. So this combination of cards, wow, it's like they are going through it. They're in a period of forced reflection, dealing with anxiety and uncovering hidden emotions, like the awakening is beginning, and it's all because of this distance. The distance created by you, and how are they dealing with it? But wait, there's like a light at the end of the tunnel, because we also have the Sun. Oh my gosh, like after all that heavy stuff, the Sun is like a huge breath of fresh air. So this card is all about joy, success, and just like pure, radiant happiness, you know? It's like, if they can get through all that other stuff, this is what's waiting for them. Maybe this distance, this inner reflection, can lead them to a place of incredible happiness and self-discovery, like a true awakening. It's like, imagine them finally releasing all that anxiety from the Nine of Swords and stepping out of the shadows of the Moon into the bright, warm light of the Sun. It's a total transformation. They might be feeling like a weight has been lifted, like they can finally see things clearly, and that all of their hard work and self-reflection has been worth it. You know, the Sun can also represent a major breakthrough. So after all that confusion and hidden emotion, they might suddenly have this aha moment where everything clicks into place. They understand themselves better, they understand the situation better, and they know exactly what they need to do to move forward. It's like the universe is shining a spotlight on their path. And you know what else is really cool? The Sun is all about vitality and energy. So if they've been feeling drained or uninspired, this card suggests that they're about to get a huge boost of energy, a new zest for life. They might feel like they can take on anything, like they're ready to conquer the world. How amazing is that? Like, they might just wake up one day feeling totally different, totally renewed. But you know, it's important to remember that the Sun doesn't just magically appear. It comes after the darkness. So they still have to do the work. They still have to face their fears and deal with those hidden emotions. But this card is like a promise that it's all going to be worth it in the end. It's like a little nudge from the universe saying, keep going, you're on the right track. Maybe this distance is actually a blessing in disguise, you know? It's forcing them to confront their issues and ultimately leading them to a place of greater happiness and fulfillment. It could be that, or it could be wishful thinking. We have more cards to pull, but this is a fantastic sign, a really powerful sign that things are moving in a positive direction, and you know. I am so excited to see what the other cards will reveal. And you know, I'm so excited to see what the other cards will reveal, but like, here comes the Wheel of Fortune. Oh my gosh, this is like huge, you know? This card is all about destiny and cycles, and it's saying that this whole situation, this distance, it's not just random. It's part of a bigger plan, like a cosmic plan. I definitely think this is all part of their awakening that the Moonstone crystal represents. So, they might be starting to feel like this distance was inevitable, like it was always meant to happen, you know? It's like the universe is pushing them in a new direction, even if it doesn't feel comfortable right now. Maybe they are starting to see that this separation, though hard, is actually setting them up for something better, something aligned with their true path, but it's hard to see that when you're in the middle of it. I think you're going to see that there is a big change coming to their life as a result of this shift, like a big opportunity or a turning point, and for that, we have the Wheel of Fortune. I think you're going to see them reconnecting to their own sense of destiny in a powerful way, and you're going to see them starting to realize, oh, everything happens for a reason. And you know what's really cool? The Wheel of Fortune is all about ups and downs, so they might be realizing that life isn't always going to be easy. There will be challenges and setbacks, but these things are necessary for growth. They may have been worried, like if they've been feeling stuck, or if they've been feeling like things are never going to change. I think that they are gaining a sense of momentum. Not only that, but I think they're looking at this situation through a different lens, like not as a punishment, but rather as a chance to learn and evolve, you know. Like instead of saying, why is this happening to me? They might be saying, what can I learn from this? Or, how can I use this to become a better person? I also think that, you're going to see Thetvin if they've been feeling lost or confused. They are going to be looking at things with a more open mind, like approaching life with a newer perspective that is more exciting and hopeful. So, maybe they have defined themselves as a victim in the past, and now they're saying, maybe there's a reason for this, and I'm learning that this reason is very powerful and very healing. So now they are incorporating new ways of thinking that are not only allowing what they're already doing to be more fresh, but also, I think they may be rekindling their love for life and for their own journey. And I also think that they are going to find that they just feel more at peace in general, like they're trusting the process more, you know. And I think that that trust is going to be a bit infectious. I think other people are also going to notice that shift in them, and they're going to be inspired by their perspective as well. I think they may find that they have the courage to embrace these changes, and they will really resonate with people in powerful ways. You know, the Wheel of Fortune is a very powerful card, and you need to know that you have a very unique opportunity here. You know, the Wheel of Fortune is a very powerful card, and you need to know that you have a very unique opportunity here, and oh my gosh, here's the Judgment card. This is like a major wake-up call, you know? It's all about a time of reckoning, a rebirth, and it's like the universe is saying, okay, it's time to rise up and be who you're truly meant to be. I think you're going to see them really reflecting on their life, like taking stock of everything that's happened, especially during this period of distance that we've been focusing on with all of the cards we've pulled. But now we can clearly see what's coming. They might be reevaluating their choices, their relationships, and even their own identity. Are they living in alignment with their true purpose, or have they been playing a role? Remember we talked about hidden emotions with the moon? Well, this is about bringing those hidden parts into the light and truly integrating them. There's definitely a sense of clearing away the old to make room for the new. So all that anxiety from the Nine of Swords. Maybe they're finally seeing where those fears came from and how to release them, and the confusion from the moon. Now they are starting to find some clarity, and that's beautiful. I think this card is representing really significant positive changes coming to their life as a result of this reflection. As they confront their past, there might be some discomfort because change is not always easy, right? Especially when it means letting go of old beliefs and patterns. They may have some resistance, some fear of the unknown, but it also could mean something very positive to them or both. But you know what? The Moonstone Raw Crystal is all about awakening. So this card is really amplified because it's like they're being divinely guided to shed their old skin and step into their power, to step into an authentic life. I think you're going to see them reconnecting to their own inner calling in a powerful way, and you're going to see them starting to realize, oh, I am worthy of this. How amazing is that? And you know what? There is one more card to pull, I am so excited for it. You know what? There is one more card to pull. I am so excited for it. And oh my gosh, here's the Ace of Cups. This is like a total fresh start, you know? This card is all about new beginnings in love and emotions, and it's like the universe is saying, okay, get ready for some serious heart stuff. I think you're going to see them really opening themselves up to new possibilities, like maybe even finding love in unexpected places, especially during this period of distance that we've been focusing on with all of the cards we've pulled. But now we can clearly see what's coming. They might be reevaluating what they want in a relationship, what truly makes them happy. Like, are they ready to receive love, or have they been blocking it? Remember we talked about those hidden emotions with the moon? Well, this is about finally letting those walls down and allowing themselves to be vulnerable, you know. There's definitely a sense of emotional healing here, like they're finally ready to move on from past hurts and embrace a brighter future. So all that anxiety from the Nine of Swords, maybe they're starting to realize that they deserve to be happy and loved, and the confusion from the moon. Now they are finding emotional clarity. I think this card is representing really significant positive changes coming to their emotional life as a result of this reflection. As they open their heart to love, there might be some nervousness because new beginnings can be scary, right? Especially when it means taking a risk and putting themselves out there. They may have some hesitation, some fear of getting hurt again, but it also could mean something very positive to them or both. But you know what? The Moonstone Raw Crystal is all about awakening. So this card is really amplified, because it's like they're being divinely guided to open their heart and embrace a new chapter of love and joy. I think you're going to see them reconnecting to their own capacity for love in a powerful way, and you're going to see them starting to realize, oh, I am worthy of love and happiness. How amazing is that? And you know what? The Ace of Cups can also represent a new creative project that's fueled by their emotions. And you know what? The Ace of Cups can also represent a new creative project that's fueled by their emotions. And like, wow, after all that, we pull the Page of Cups. This is so sweet, you know. This card is all about new beginnings, but it's also about being open to new experiences and embracing your inner child. It's so innocent, so pure, it's beautiful. It's like the universe is saying, okay, it's time to get in touch with your emotions and express yourself freely. I think you're going to see them really embracing their creativity, like maybe even starting a new hobby or exploring a new artistic outlet, especially during this period of distance we have been talking about, you know? This is where it all comes together. They might be reevaluating how they express themselves, whether it's through writing, painting, music, or whatever brings them joy. Like, are they allowing themselves to be playful and spontaneous, or are they holding back? This is about finally letting go of those inhibitions and embracing their authentic selves. And remember what we said about them deserving to be happy. I mean it. There's definitely a sense of emotional healing here, like they're finally ready to let go of past hurts and embrace a brighter future, and all that confusion from the moon. I think they're learning that it's okay to not have all the answers, to be curious, and to explore their feelings without judgment. I think they're going to find that they really like who they are, that they are worthy of love and happiness, and gosh, that's such a powerful thing. I think you're going to see them reconnecting to their own inner child in a very powerful way, and they're going to start realizing, oh, I am worthy of joy and playfulness. I think you're going to see them really embracing that sense of wonder, like maybe even taking up a new hobby or rekindling an old passion. It's like they're finally giving themselves permission to be themselves, to be authentic, and to express their emotions freely, like this whole journey is just a beautiful unfolding of their true self, you know. I think that you can clearly see that Moonstone Raw Crystal that you picked is speaking to you. This whole journey, with the ups and downs of the wheel, the clarity of the sun, the awakening that we know is coming, it is all a testament to your strength and resilience. And now, with the Page of Cups, you're ready to embrace a new chapter of love, joy, and self-expression, so go for it. Trust your intuition, follow your heart, and know that you are worthy of all the good things coming your way. I am so excited for you.